Hello, my name is Keith Soper and I'm Service Director for Forensics and Prisons. I'm here to talk to Jazz, Director of Finance, about our current financial position. Hello Jazz. I'll start with asking you about last year's financial position, and as was the case in the wider NHS, last year was a challenging year for us financially. I wonder if you could just set out for us where we ended up.
So I think if I give a bit of context to where we ended up, we started the year, I think very confident that we were going to achieve a savings target of about £8 million and deliver a surplus of £1 million. Now that £1 million is very important because actually we would use that money to reinvest back in services or help us in the future should we have any financial difficulty. I think what became apparent for me was by about summer, August time, we weren't quite on top of all the plans that we had set out, and it did lead to us overspending. Now, in order to get ourselves back onto plan, we had to make a decision as an executive what we were going to do. I think our staff will remember we wrote out to everybody saying we are where we are, and these are some of the things I think we could do to get us back on track. I think with hindsight we could have reconsidered some of our options, and I think we've learnt a lesson about how we communicate with staff around our financial position, because for some staff it did come as a bit of a shock. But anyway, I think what I've got to say is I've got to thank my colleagues, all down to frontline staff, who took on that mantle and said, right, what can we do differently? And people emailed me in directly to say, have we thought about this idea or another? And ultimately, I think as a board, we said, well, what can it get us to? And we don't want to overstretch everything and sort of risk quality of services that we deliver. So we ended up in a position where we could make a small surplus, but not £1 million. And then fortuitously, we looked at the sale of one of our properties and said, actually, that property is now vacant. And could we get some profit from there to help us get back to our £1 million? And actually, that worked out really, really well. So I think overall, it was a success story for the organisation, but quite a hard slog in terms of getting there.
Okay, Jess, so we did well in the end last year. Just moving on to this financial year, what's the sort of current position for us and where are the areas we need to focus?
So far, I think we're not as good a financial position as we needed to be. So we discussed with the executive this morning around where we are and what do we need to do. And I think as a whole, we agreed there's some quick wins that we need to go searching for, and we need staff to really engage with us again about where are the good ideas to save money. But there are 4 probably very big things that as an executive as a whole that we could do. And I would put them into sort of 4 areas. One is around funding. I think we're going to be more assertive than we have been for the last few years with our commissioners around what are you commissioning us to deliver, how much money are you giving us to do that, and actually if you want more then you need to pay for more. And we really need to have those robust discussions with all of our commissioners. So hopefully we'll get some funding into the service on the back of that. The other thing is we've got a challenging savings target again for 17-18. To the tune of 9.6 million. Now services have worked very, very hard to come up with some very good plans, but we do still have some gaps in that. And actually I think what we need to do now is actually deliver those savings plans. And it's not all about cost cutting, it's about productivity, it's about income generation. If we can really mobilise those now, I think we'll be in a very good position to get to where we need to get to by 31st of March. Another area where we might want to focus some of our attention on is the use of our beds. So I know last year back of CQC we had to make some very radical decisions about commissioning extra beds from another neighbouring organisation, and at the same time we're still having to place people in private placements. So if we can really join up that strategy better and say, can we live within the bed base we've got? If we've got better community services around mental health in particular, that could save us a significant amount of money. Another area of focus might be just around discretionary spend. So everything that we're making decisions about every single day, could we do without some of those things? Because at the heart of all these decisions has got to be, what does this mean for patients? Is there an impact on safety? Is there an impact on quality? I think as a board, we've always said we've got to try and maintain that level or that standard on the back of any decisions we make.
Thanks very much for your time, Jazz.
Thank you very much, Keith.